Hello everybody and welcome back to another AFC Wimbledon video where today, unfortunately, Wimbledon did lose 1-0 to Stockport County, the league leaders, and today we're going to go through my thoughts and just the overall thoughts on the game. It's disappointing. Defensively, we looked good. Attacking looked absolutely awful. But yeah, we're going to go through my thoughts today. Start with the lineup, look at the stats, look at every single player's performance, how they faced against Stockport today. Look at the league table, look at the results, and yeah, that's about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments of our 1-0 loss on Stockport. But let's get into this video. Well, AFC Wimbledon today lost to Stockport County, the league leaders, away from home, 1-0. We'll look at the lineup. We had Bass in goal. BBC Sports said it was a 4-4-2. Bass in goal, Barmer right back, Lewis and Johnson were back, which was really good to see. Curry played left back, Tilly on the right hand side of a 4, O'Toole and Ball in the middle, Newville on the left hand side, and BBC have said Chaban again, which is weird, but I don't know why they've getting Bugle and Chaban mixed up, but Bugle started and with Gordon alongside him up front. To be honest, when we look at the lineup, obviously Lewis and Johnson were both back together, and to be honest, they had a decent game at the back. I think we've kept 15 clean sheets this season, and Ben Hinchcliffe, the Stockport keeper, has now kept 16 because of his clean sheet today against us. To be honest, again, we were defensively sound at the back. Curry was really good, put in a decent performance as he always does. Johnson and Lewis, it was so good to see them back together in the two centre-back role. And to be honest, yeah, they were sound. It's so annoying. Like, for the whole season, we've kept so many clean sheets. Nearly just under half of our games this season, we've kept a clean sheet. It's just the other side of the pitch where we can't do it. I mean, we could do it with Ali, but since I know Wimbledon fans will say Ali, we might have not been more up in the table without Ali, but we really would have. I think we would have been pushing automatics because it's a game like today where we didn't have a shot on target, and with Ali, he would have created chances by himself and just lead us up front, to be honest, and just take chances, which he would have easily done today. There's so many games this season. You look at Grimsbury at home, all of the 0-0s that we've had, the 2-0 away at Grimsbury. If we took our chances, there's so many games that if we took our chances, we would have been so higher up in the table. But it is what it is. Now let's look at each player's performance. Bass had a decent game. I mean, when we look at the match stats, they only had 2 shots on target with 8 just shots, and 2 of those on target. I mean, to be honest, he can't really do much about the goal. It was a really, really good strike. It's just a shame that we narrowed them down to so many little chances, and especially in the first half, we were really defensively sound. Didn't give them any sort of clear-cut chances, and we've been really good defensively this season, to be honest. Again, it's just up front. Bass was decent. Barmer, Lewis, Johnson, Curry as a 4 at the back, really, really good. Barmer in the right back role, he looked comfortable, and that was really good to see as well. Tilly, we'll go on to his penalty in a minute, but we had Tilly on the right hand side, Newville on the left. Would have liked to see them more utilised, to be honest. We know the pace that they have, we know the quality that they have. Maybe it was a change of formation, who knows? We went to a flat back 4, and it was all right, to be honest, even though we've had the 5 or the 3-5, whatever it is, at the back. A change of formation, we played well in the 4 back, especially. I mean, we've used 4 back for quite a lot of the season, so I don't think it wasn't too much of a worry changing back to a back 4, but it was all right. It's going to be interesting to see how Johnny Jackson puts out his side against Salford on Saturday. But Tilly obviously missed a penalty. It's a tough one because it was a couple inches wide, hit the outside of the post, really, really unlucky. And if he put it on the inside of the post, it would have been the perfect pen, and it's unsavable. So it's really tough to see. I mean, Tilly hasn't scored in the league since September, which is crazy, and he's our second top goal scorer, which is mental. I do really feel for Tilly because we know the qualities that he has. I just really wish that he can bring back his start of season form, because when Ali wasn't scoring, Tilly was doing the bits, and now we have no one scoring. It'll be so good to see Tilly just come back and do bits for us and get us back up the table as he was doing at the start of the season. O'Toole and Ball, to be honest, against league leaders, they were actually quite sound in midfield. Didn't really put a foot wrong, I guess. I mean, I think if you had Reeves and Little in there, the quality will show, and we might have had more chances. We might have had a shot on goal from them because, especially Little, he's a workhorse in midfield. He runs for 90 minutes, and maybe that would have been different. But hopefully, I've heard that Reeves is injured. I'm not really sure what's happening with Little, if they're just out for it, or if Johnny Jackson's resting them, if they're just if they're injured. But if they are, let's hope it's not long term, and maybe hopefully they'll be back on Saturday against Salford City. Bugle up front, he was all right. I mean, he I don't know, it's so disappointing because I feel like if we kept the core of the squad, if we had Ali, then we could have been flying up that table, maybe even automatics into League One. When we had a full strength squad before January, I was saying that we can easily be up there in the automatics, and it feels like there's so many poor teams that we've played. Harrogate, I thought they were poor. I feel like we were easily the better team, and we should have took it more to them and just get more shots on target, and we probably easily would have scored. Bugle was alright, shows his strength. Without Bugle today, it would have been even worse. Gordon, he wasn't really the best, to be honest. Would like to see him more clinical. To be honest, I think we should have started Kelly, but then Kelly came on, didn't really offer much. It's such a shame, but it's so hard when you come on when you're 1-0 down. No, it wasn't 1-0 down. It was a couple of minutes before we went 1-0 down, especially when you come on in the last 10 minutes. It's hard. It's really hard to impact the game, to be honest. Davison came on, Sasu and Kelly came on. Again, didn't really offer much to the subs, to be honest, but there's not really much you can do with the subs. I feel like this season's over, to be honest. I mean, when we look at the table, we sit 10th, 3 points off the playoff places with a superior goal difference, and Crawley that currently sit the last playoff spot. But to be honest, when you look at the games, it's a typical Wimbledon season. I mean, it's better than a typical Wimbledon season, but when we always have games which we should have took our chances and won those games because we know we're the better side. Even when you look back on earlier in the season, a 0-0 draw away at Grimsby, a missed penalty, Wrexham a missed penalty, even Wrexham away, we maybe should be looking at maybe a draw. We were far the better team in the first half. There you have the 2 times against Grimsby. Harrogate at home should be picking up 3 points. And there's so many more games. Like, we were beating Doncaster 2-0, Swindon 4-0, Notts County 4-2. Like, those type of games, we should have been doing that throughout the season. We're really not consistent enough, and it's such a shame. But to be honest, I haven't really talked about Stockport. I thought they were good. To be honest, they've been really good all season. I've been impressed. They're definitely going to go up. When we look at the league table, they currently sit top, 5 points clear of Mansfield and Wrexham. It's going to be interesting to see how we face, because obviously we're facing teams which are closer to the bottom of the table now towards the end of the season, maybe except from Walsall. But we've got Tranmere, who sits 17th, Swindon 19th, Salford 20th. So to be fair, if we get 4 wins out of the last 4 games, I don't see it happening. But they're teams which you should be picking up points against, and it's teams which you have picked points up against. We beat Tranmere 4-1, Swindon 4-0. We had a 0-0 draw away at Salford, but that's another game where we should have picked up more points. And then Walsall beat them 3-1 away from home, but 2 of the players that scored in that game don't play for us anymore. So it's going to be interesting to see how we face in the last 4 games. Maybe we've got an easier run come after the Stockport game. We've got a quite easy run coming into the last 4 games of this season. It will be interesting to see how we face. But I don't know. My thoughts on today, disappointing. I think we maybe deserved a draw. Obviously, if Tilly scored the pen, it would have been a completely different game. But then maybe Stockport would have attacked more, would have tried to put more pressure on us, because I thought, again, first half we were defensively sound. There was barely any clear-cut chances of the game, even when they're bringing on Oloafe, who scored so many good goals this season for Stockport, and he didn't really offer that much of a threat as well. But yeah, when you have a player that scored their goal, really, really good work goal and a really good finish, that's the difference in quality of why we aren't in the mix to go up in promotion this season. But hopefully next season it will be better. Let me know your thoughts. There's not really much to say about today. It's disappointing. Should have maybe picked up more points. It just seems like one of those typical games come the end of the season for any Wimbledon season where we should be picking up more points. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on today's 1-0 loss to Stockport County away from home. Disappointing, but that's been the moral of the story for a lot of games this season, especially when we've drawn 0-0, 1-0, whatever it may be, even losses where we should have been picking up more points. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. And yeah, see you at Salford at home on Saturday.